incidentally, is the only other pole sitter, and he did that at the Eastern Creek round.
Well, Matt, third quickest. You've shown good pace this weekend.
Yeah, it's been great. You know, we've really struggled all year this weekend. We seem to have come out blazing. The car's been very quick since the minute we put it on the track. I re-engineered the car myself last week, just went back to basics, pulled it all apart, put it back together to the way I thought it should be, and it certainly made a difference.
It sure worked. Matthew Coleman scoring his third quickest or best qualifying performance all season on row 2. Set for a start. Jim Richards gets swamped off the line by Tim Lay in the Greg Murphy Racing Team Braun entry. Richards has recovered somewhat as they run down to turn 1 for the first time. An argument between those two. Fitzgerald in the Enyo Porsche has made a terrific start. The OAM's entry gets a little taily into turn 1. Richards uncharacteristically runs off, and Lay takes control from Marcus Marshall. Coleman is third. We welcome Garth Tander to the commentary box, and Garth, one thing we didn't make clear at the beginning of the show, Jimmy Richards has also got a very big weekend on his plate.
Well, he has, driving in the Sandown 500 and defending his championship lead in Carrera Cup, and we saw off the line that Tim Lay wanted to get a good start and put Jimmy under pressure, and did that, and then squeezed Jimmy up the inside into turn 1, and very uncharacteristically Jimmy made a mistake and speared off. So Tim's done what he's needed to do. Let's see if he can pull through for the race win.
Jim did a terrific job in qualifying. In fact, only ran 10 laps in the session. Wanted to conserve his tyres. They only have 6 Michelin S8As for qualifying and racing. But on cold tyres and going hard into turn 1, Richards has a lot of work to do. Clark Quinn has made the switch after a terrific year in the Aussie racing cars. He's making his debut in the Carrera Cup in the Pioneer entry. There he is. In behind Andrew Madecki and the Enyo Porsche of Peter Fitzgerald. Terrific job being done here by Tim Lay. Let's have another look at this at turn 1, a different angle.
Yeah, Jimmy just went in nice and deep, and Tim had him crowded into turn 1, which he's quite entitled to do. Jimmy just went in nice and deep on cold tyres and ran wide.
It's Lay from Marshall. Lay's run off here. He's had a drama down at turn 1. He didn't look like he carried a lot of speed into turn 1.
Doesn't look like he's in a real hurry to get back onto the circuit either. So whether something's gone wrong or something's happened down there, we're not quite sure.
A number of drivers have had some clutch dramas during the weekend. That's not incidentally a failure in the cars. They do have a safety mechanism in these cars, Garth. If you have a shift problem of some sort, invariably it's the clutch that lets go. So I wonder if Tim maybe has succumbed to some sort of drama like that.
Well, I know Tim had a clutch drama earlier in the weekend, so whether or not that's a reoccurrence of that same problem, we'll have to find out later.
Marcus Marshall, front of the field. Look how he dances the GT3 through the S's down into Dandenong Road. Very close is Matthew Coleman. Good battle between these two youngsters.
Well, with Jimmy at the back of the pack and Marshall second in the championship, he'll be wanting to take full advantage of Jimmy's misfortune early in the race and stay up the front for a race win. But Matty Coleman said earlier that he was feeling pretty good about his car, and he's driving incredibly well.
How pumped up is Matthew Coleman? Terrific job right now. P2, third place, the Enyo Porsche. Peter Fitzgerald, former production car champion and winner of the 3-hour at Bathurst. Good job by Clark Quinn on debut, P5 ahead of Jim Richards. Jonathan Webb is another who's starring in the early stages of round 6 of the Carrera Cup. Marshall, he's had a moment here, some sort of drama, so has Matthew Coleman. In the background, Clark Quinn was spinning. I wonder if there's coolant or something like that down, Garth.
Well, quite an unusual place to have a moment, right in the middle of the corner.
Oh, Dean Grant.
So there's obviously something definitely down, because there's guys going off everywhere here.
That's a shame for Dean. Just an equal best in qualifying for him, 7th. Let's have a closer look at this.
Yeah, you just see on the replay about mid-corner into turn 3, Marcus just slides wide, and actually the 3 guys behind him do the same thing. Matty saved a little bit earlier, trying to get up the inside into 4 for the run up the back straight, but yeah, everyone's going around, and obviously lots of coolant on the surface.
Let's have a look at this from Paul Pedersen's car. Kevin Bell takes evasive action. Dean Grant unfortunately wasn't able to hang on to it, which is a shame. The local racer has done a great job in the build-up to this round. A car that's prepared by Jim Richards and Carl Batson and the crew. Everyone's slowing up here.
See the oil flag out on the circuit too, so obviously the coolant's not just down at turn 2 and 3, it's up there later in the circuit as well.
Coleman seized on an opportunity here. Marshall trying to defend. Coleman's trying to sneak through here. Oh, big one! Matthew Coleman has gone over big time.
That's a big accident. Big accident.
Well, there was a window of opportunity there. Coleman went for it. Not a huge amount of room as Marshall endeavoured to defend, and that's a testament to the strength in the build of these Porsche GT3 race cars. You can see Coleman getting out, but that car is a virtual throwaway.
Very, very lucky that Matty's actually able to climb out of the car under his own steam and walk away. Obviously going over to see Marcus Marshall and find out exactly what went on.
Well, some heated words here. What the hell happened is Matthew Coleman's question to Marcus Marshall. We might be able to paint a better picture here, but both of them were arguing over a very tight piece of track position.
And we saw earlier they were racing nice and hard. And we see here Marcus just going to the outside and Matty's staying on the gas and staying with him.
Crunch!
Just look at the way the Armco there is bent out of the way as Coleman's car run into it.
Big job for Thomas Mazira, driving standards advisor to Carrera Cup. And they will no doubt, the officials, be looking at this one very closely. Different angle again on our trackside replay.
It actually looked as though when the two cars came together, the actual tyres grabbed each other and actually pulled the cars tighter together again, which then forced them into the Armco. So the initial contact, although it wasn't that bad, actually sort of joined the car as one and pushed them towards the Armco. And
wild ride for Matthew Coleman. This is on board with Marcus Marshall. We look out the back of the VIP Pet Foods entry. Look how close they are here. Garth's suggestion, perhaps the wheels become interlocked. Now watch Coleman here. Massive pirouette, it goes off the fence, the front digs in, Marshall goes around and Coleman gets sent flying through the air. Now he's out of the car, which is good news. Let's go to the pits. Tim Hodges is with his dad, Alan.
We haven't spoken to him, but he's out of the car, so he's okay. That's the most important thing. You can fix the car, but...
the car looks, on telly, a mess.
The car doesn't look too good, unfortunately, so we'll just have to see what happens from now on. But most important thing, Matt's okay.
He sure is. This race has been red flag. Peter Fitzgerald scoring his first win of the season.
We were going to turn 2, and someone's bursted a radiator or something, which is common with these Porsches, and it's just spilt water all over the road in turn 2 and 3. And I've gone through there and understeered into the barrier on the outside, which is 3 over the back. So then I've taken off again, gone down the back straight, still in the lead, gone down over the top. There's still heaps of water over the top, down into Dandenong Corner. Had a massive moment down there and pulled that off, kept going in the lead. And when I braked down in here into this last turn, my car just snapped to the left because of the damage that I had from hitting the wall around at 3. All the years I've raced all these people, I've never veered to the left to run him off the road or anything. I mean, I didn't even know he was there. I kept my line, braked, and the car just snapped to the left. So what else can you say, you know?
First shunt I've ever had like that. I've never flipped a car, I've never flipped a go-kart, I've never really been upside down other than the skiing crash. And that's probably the thing I put it closest to. If you've ever had a big skiing fall, when you get tripped and kind of disorientated and bounced around, I felt somewhat like that. But scary, not so much for me, for the car, you know. As I said, we've been struggling all year. We finally had the car going fast, and I feel this could have been our day today, but unfortunately it's not to be.